Ah, fall. What a wonderful time of year. It is almost upon us, my friends, and I am very, very excited. I thought today it'd be kind of fun to talk about all the things I like about fall. But before that, I do have a couple of announcements. Firstly, have you seen those amiibo prices from yesterday? Boy, oh boy. I would love paying $50 for what is essentially half figures. I mean, I guess you're getting a full figure, and for those who don't understand, the Kirby Air Riders amiibos were shown off yesterday, and the price was shown to be $50 each, which is I think a bit much. I mean, 40 would have been fine, but go for gold, I guess. Secondly, I'm gonna no longer call this the Fresh Baked Niche podcast. It'll just be the Fresh Baked Niche. Why have I made this decision? Well, it was brought to my attention that, frankly, it's not really a podcast. It's more like a little internet show, and I'm okay with that. I think if we start using Bakey more, putting in more scenarios, if I can start figuring out how to maybe, I don't know, edit these a bit better, yeah, I think that's justified. I think that's fair. So, we're still the Fresh Baked Niche. Still going to talk about little things within entertainment. And, yeah. So, getting into it, fall. It's one of my favorite times of year, right under winter. So, first of all, love the temperature. I mean, I run hot a lot of the times anyways, so it getting colder, less humid. Looking forward to that. Very, very exciting. Frankly, I also think some of the best food comes out of these few months. Between apple cider, pumpkin pie. Mostly apple dishes, because apple pie, apple crumble, that kind of stuff. That's great. Love that stuff. And, it's not that you can't have it during the summer or the spring. It just feels not quite right. And now it does feel right, and that's great. Secondly, Halloween is upon us, and it's the one time of year where I actually like to sit down and watch some scary movies. Traditionally, and if you want to join me this year, I like to watch John Carpenter's The Thing. It's one of my favorite scary movies, and you know what? It's a good watch, and it's tradition at this point to watch it. I also used to watch the Ghost Stories anime every year, but it seems the YouTube videos I used to watch no longer exist or something. I did check online. It does look like I can buy the full series on DVD. However, the person who was selling it had it for like a few $100s, so I'll have to double check and make sure that wasn't like me misreading or if they're really just being that stingy on it. But so that's always fun, is just watching the scary movies. I also like to try new ones. I do plan on finally watching the Five Nights at Freddy's film. Don't know how I missed that one for this long, but we get there. Maybe I'll try Terrifier. I heard it's graphic, which I'm not a big fan of, but we try. And going back to the fact that it's colder, I can now start wearing one of my favorite combos. I am a hoodie cargo short kind of guy. I like having cargo shorts because of all the pockets. I also, can exhaust all the heat out of my legs. But I love wearing a good hoodie. I like having the pockets. I just like the feel. It's comforting. It's nice. Halloween is also very cool. I got invited to a party this year. Looking forward to it. I think the theme is prom for some reason. A little restrictive on how to dress up, but I do have a nice suit I can wear. So, we'll take it. It's a good excuse to hang out with friends and, drink a little, eat some good food, just shit talk for the night. Seems like people don't really have that much anymore. Or if they do, it's very restrictive. It's fine. I'm happy to have a group, or at least a few of them, So this is a weird one, actually, for me, now that's becoming fall, is sports. Sports are starting to come back in full swing, and I should say, like, football and stuff, which, it's funny, I grew up in a football house. I'm not the kind of guy who likes sports normally, but, over the past, year or two, I've started to get into it. I think I understand the rules a bit better. And, it's not terrible to watch, although it's weird to think how, I don't know, it's gotten worse, I guess to put it. Look, the fact that, I can't grab a guy and throw him to the ground, that's considered an illegal play because, I interrupted his movements or something. Isn't that the point? Genuinely, isn't that the idea? To stop them from making plays and me continuing to make plays? I don't know. It just seems like the sport is becoming, Well, I run down the field and try to get some points, and then you run down the field and try to get some points, and at the end, we'll see who has the most points. But if your team is invested into a celebrity, then you'll win more than anybody else, because that looks good. Despite the fact that we're already a multi-billion-dollar industry, we need more money and more fans. But, again, I do like it a bit more, at least, than I used to. I am rooting for the Washington Commanders this year. If you want to give me flack for that, understand I'm not committed to football like most people, so I just change teams every year. I was, the Minnesota Vikings 2 years ago. I was the Florida Dolphins last year. And this year I am the Washington Commanders. I think they played really well last year, did some really solid plays. So they got my vote for this year. I haven't decided who I'm picking next year. We'll see. I usually like to root for the underdog. Who knows? Maybe it'll be the Browns. Oh, I should note, there is, 2 things I don't like about fall. It's not a perfect season. I mean, it's, again, one of my favorites, but the lack of sunlight that usually comes in is suck. I'm somebody who likes to get their vitamin D naturally. That and because of usually inclement weather, because it always seems like, at least where I live, fall means rain. It's hard to go out and do things. I'm somebody who sits at a desk all day, thanks to my 9 to 5. So I, to offset that, go on nightly walks. But, when it's just absolutely pissing, it's hard to do that. And, well, that kind of sucks. But I try to make up for it by lifting weights or doing something else at home. And, we're still on that weight loss grind. And hopefully we will get there. Maybe one day I'll feel confident enough to, show my face or anything. But I think that's about going to do her for this episode. I thank you for listening if you got this far. And if you like this content, please consider, dropping a like. There is a button for that. And maybe even a subscription. It really does help out the channel. Shows me what people like. And, that's great. If you're also still somehow at this point, lost the words there for a second, drop a comment. Tell me what you like about fall. It's always nice to see what little traditions people have or what their favorite things are that they only really do around this time of year. But, yeah, as always, thank you and have a great day. Goodbye.